Hello, good morning and welcome to the eROC World Final. We are in Pieterhavsbad as the beginning of the Race of Champions weekend kicks off. There are cars out there practicing on track, but in here is where the sim action is going to kick off right now. Thanks for joining us wherever you are in the world. Right now we are going to be competing for these amazing trophies. That's the one for the winner. That's the one for second place, made of actual ice. They're not. So we're in the driver's lounge where the world's best drivers are gathering ready for Race of Champions this weekend. But right now it's all about the world's best sim racers, and we have 4 of them. We also have 3 judges right here. So they will be taking a big part in this. We have Felix Rosenquist, Oliver Solberg and Terry Grant. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you here, but this is the scene that is set for the sim racing. So I'm Neil Cole, thank you for joining us, and up in the commentary booth is Will Buxton. Let's take it away.
Oh, welcome guys to Pieterhavsbad. We are delighted to welcome you here for Race of Champions for the eROC finals as we get ready for the first race of the day. And it's a big one. 2 races to start us off. Everyone's going to race everybody twice. So we will have the first race. Then the guys will switch positions. So there will be no questions over any favoritism from either side. The guys just prepping, just getting ready for the off. And it's Jarno Opmeer versus Lucas Blakely, the final 2 in eROC 2022. The revs are up and they're getting ready for the lights. And we're off, and we are away. Jarno Opmeer in the number 1, Lucas Blakely in the number 2, around the long left-hander for turn 1. The inside line, far tighter, far slower, far trickier course than the outside line, where you can really get your foot down this long sweeping section into the long left-hander up at the top. During qualification, we were seeing a couple of seconds, the difference over the line, so don't be too perturbed if you see that kind of 2.1, 2.2 second gap over the line. Blakely in the black, Opmeer in the white, and it's a very nice 42.1, 45.6, so Blakely about a second and a half off where he needs to be to really take this at the moment to Opmeer, who now has the inside line. It's the far trickier, far tighter, just a touch slower run now that he's on the inside part of the track. A couple of little flicks to bring it round at the end as we get close to the end of this first run here in Sweden. These tight final couple of corners, about a 1.5 second advantage that he had over the line. It's Blakely who takes it. So Blakely with the first blood here in Sweden. A great run from him. The guys will now switch positions and we'll get to do it all over again. Everybody will race everybody today. And of course, this for the rights, not just to be the champion of eROC, but the top 2 drivers will contest the Nations Cup tomorrow. Of course, these 2 lined up as teammates last year. Blakely it was, who defeated Sebastian Vettel. An amazing race from him, for real, out on the snow and ice. The guys have actually been out on the snow and ice yesterday, practicing on the track. The conditions this morning out there, absolutely beautiful. The Nations Cup taking place tomorrow. So these races, not just, of course, for individual honours in eROC, but to determine who will take to the actual snow and ice tomorrow in the Nations Cup. Can Opmeer pull it back? If he does, it'll go down to combined times. As we get ready for the off, the lights are on, and now we're racing once again. Blakely looking to make it 2-0. Lovely line. That first left-hander on the outside line, it's really 2 left-handers separated by a tiny little straight. Getting the power down now. And just that little slide, beautiful control. The guys here at the moment in the Porsche GT4 e-performance cars two of the best sim racers around in the world today. Of course, Blakely, as we said, defeated Vettel for real. He is the reigning 2022 Formula One esports champion, taking on Opmir, who is a two-time Formula One esports champion. This, a very different consideration for both of them on the snow and ice. No flappy paddle gear shift for them all, but a little mistake and a big hit. And Opmir, who was already to the tune of about 6 seconds behind, but with the little separation that we expect of around 2 seconds, it puts him about 4 seconds back. How will that hit have affected things? Blakely over the line then, a 1:23.5, which is a walloping time compared to what we were seeing in qualifying. And that will be that. Two great runs then from Blakely.
Nice one. Very good. So that's the first set of racing done. So of course you can't. The timing screens don't lie. That's a very big part of course, is setting your best time here as we get Martin Palmer, Michael Romanidis into their sims. But another crucial part of this is they have to demonstrate real skills out there on the track, and the scores that are given to them by the judges based on pace, car control and track awareness contributes to who will combine that score with their score, their time on the racing. And we have some of the best in the world being the judges. So Terry, first of all, you've actually helped a lot of these sim racers adapt to real racing. How have they been doing?
Yeah, I mean, this year obviously we had 3 returnees, so they already know what it's all about. But I watched their journey last year, and I'm watching Michael, the new guy this year, going on the same journey. So for sure, jumping from a sim to real life, yes, it's very similar, but there's a lot of differences as well, and they find that out literally the moment they hit the track.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys a bit more as we get down to actually judging their real-world skills. But now let's get back to the sim and back to Will.
So much, Neil. So it's Michael Romanidis, Greek racer, familiar to esports fans, of course, having contested F1, esports and Le Mans Virtual against Martin Palm, who won Sweden's entry in both 2022 and 2023. Romanidis in the number 1, Palm in the number 2. Looks of steely determination on their faces. The revs rising, the lights illuminating, and we are underway. And once again, it's all very neat and tidy through the first couple of corners. So tight if you have the inside line. The Porsches, of course, rear wheel drive. Very easy to light it up and get loose. As we were saying, no flappy paddle gear shift. It's a sequential gear shifter and a handbrake on these rigs. But it's very nice and tidy. And the gap, we're looking for about 2 seconds, Romanidis, in that silver Porsche. Palm, though, and Palm has gone into the wall under the bridge. And I think that's actually a technical glitch. I don't think he actually put it in the wall. So I think we're going to reset, and I think we're going to go again. We are. So everything reset, getting ready for the off once again. So Romanidis in the silver car, Palm in the black. In these rear-wheel drive Porsche GT4s. And we get it underway again. So Palm with that slightly slower, slightly more technical first lap, having that inside track. On the outside, Romanidis can really get his foot down, particularly at this part of the track. There's no real braking needed through here. On the throttle, all the way through. Dab on the brakes, maybe a little handbrake, sliding it through before the switch backs. And Palm makes it through under the tunnel this time before the flicks left and right and back onto the start straight. Romanidis already through, and Palm has dropped a little bit back. He's Got to try and find around 2 seconds in this second half of the first run. Romanidis then with a big advantage at the moment, just has to keep it clean and keep it tidy as he's already into the last half of this inside lane. Should be an easy win for Romanidis. Under the tunnel, the flick back left and right, and he is taking it easy. Is he taking it too easy? Through the final right-hander and over the line. Romanidis then with an easy win, a 125.995. And it is first blood to Romanidis. Of course, the man who won the qualifying final, defeating Kamil Polowski in that final. Now they switch rigs. And a big task for Martin Palm, a trackside photographer by trade, but has been the absolute class of the field in the Swedish competition. To have a local sim racer here in both 2022 and 2023. It's Romanidis' first time here in Sweden for eROC. Palm knows this competition well, having contested it, of course, last year. But he needs a big drive. Palm right now has to try and find a couple of seconds from somewhere. Boys are ready. We're ready for round 2 of this second lineup between Palm and Romanidis. So the cars will swap. Palm in the silver, Romanidis in the black Porsche. And for eROC Snow and Ice 2023, we are once again racing. And it's a good start for Palm. In that silver car, Romanidis with the left, little straight, back into the left again, little twitch, little hesitancy from Romanidis. Now he can get his foot down, now he can really open it up down the back. But it's a positive start from Palm. It's a really nice run so far from him. Will Romanidis just try and keep his nose clean? We'll know over the line where that gap is. We're looking for around 2 seconds. Palm over the line, 43.1. And it's about half a second off for Romanidis, so he is slightly, just a touch behind Palm right now. Can Palm take it back? Will it go down to the overall time between these two? Best of 2 races. If it's one apiece at the end, it goes to time. Palm has got to push. He can't afford to make any mistakes on this second half of the run. The track which traverses and crosses itself over the jump and over the line. Romanidis takes the win. And Palm ultimately 3.6 back. So 2-0 for Romanidis. And a brilliant debut for him in eROC 2023 here in Sweden. It's 2-0.
So that's the first full set of races done. Very good job, well done. Now, if you come over here, because you're first up to be judged for your real-world skills. Okay. So first of all, tell us how it felt to drive on the Baltic snow and ice.
Oh, it was great. I mean, it was a lot of news for me this week already, and yeah, the Polaris was great to drive. You can be quite accurate with it. Even with very little experience, you kind of feel what you can do, and you can get very close to the snowbanks. It's also, the track is really nice, fast and flowing. So yeah, but let's see what the lap time was, because we have no idea.
Okay, so you didn't know. So you did it, you had the experience. If you stay here for us, and we have the judges ready to watch. So should we watch it and you talk through what you see?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's watch it. Let's play the tape.
I normally don't talk a lot, do I? It looks clean, at least, so far. Tidy lines, so...
Reactions are good, aren't they? You You know, if you watch his hands on the steering wheel, you know, he's doing everything. You can see he's feeling the track for sure. And it's not easy. It's very dusty out there. If you look, there's a lot of loose snow on top of the ice, which makes it even harder, you know, for everybody. Also the sun. If you have a look now, they're at the point of the track where they're driving straight into the sunlight, which again throws up another curveball.
And of course, they're in the Polaris. Tell us what it's like to drive that, because it's quite high up, it's quite small.
It's very soft, like it's almost a floating feeling. When you brake, the car dives a lot. And I think it's very hard, especially when you have so little practice, to feel the roll, the pitch. I mean, you can see it's just getting better every corner because, you know, the lack of practice, as I said. And yeah, it's. I think also the other elements are difficult. To say with the sun, the bumps, you know, everything just gets so different. You know, the seat belts and the. Yeah, but I think he's doing a great job.
And where are we on the track right now, Oliver?
I don't know. No, we're on the other end of the track in this long left-hander now, and just before we go getting up to the jump. So we'll see how he does the jump. Flat out or flat? That's a good jump. Good jump. Now we'll finish it. It's impressive. Very impressive. I don't think have you seen a lot of snow and ice in your life, or?
I have seen, but I've never driven it for sure.
So,
It's impressive.
so you're watching yourself there for the first time. What did it feel like to do it?
Well, it felt a lot faster than it looked like, for sure. Hope I got a bit of airtime in the end, but yeah, I think all the guys will tell you it wasn't perfect, but there wasn't any big mistakes in any of our laps. So it just comes down to the lap time, and yeah, let's see.
Okay, well, let's first of all have a look at what the judges have thought of that. Obviously, timing-wise, that won't lie.
Yeah, I mean, timing-wise is timing-wise, but we've kind of separated it. I'll take care of car control. Oliver will do the positioning and pace for Felix. So we're just concentrating on one thing each, which probably makes it a little bit easier for us to judge it on Michael's lap, for sure.
So should we get the votes? The votes are in. What are the scores?
The votes are in. So car control for myself, I've given Michael 2 out of 4. A couple of times he's dived in quite early and the car's got out of shape, but he's managed to save it. So the car control for sure is there. Just could be tidied up a little.
Okay. And moving to you, Ollie?
No, he did clean and nice lines. Could maybe use a bit more of the track out of the corners and also into the corners, a bit better lines and stuff. But otherwise, apex and so on seem to match quite well. So I'll give it a 3 out of 4.
Very good. And Felix, you're all about the speed. So what did you think of his actual pace?
Yeah, I gave him a 2. It's I mean, it's obviously a tricky situation with experience, and you can see he's just getting quicker and quicker every lap. I think the beginning, you know, obviously was the hardest, and then I think if you had the pace he had in the end, would probably be a 3. But yeah, giving him a 2.
Okay, well, let's see how that affects the scores on the scoreboard and see if you think that's a fair assessment, Michael.
Oh, for sure. I mean, whatever the judges have a lot more experience and for sure a lot more accomplished than me. So, yeah, I mean, I agree. Of course, with a lot more experience, it will be better. But, yeah, I think it's fair.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the scores. You're the first to be judged out on track, so you have more points than everyone else. But, of course, Jarno, Lucas and Martin will get their points added, and we'll see if anyone was better than you out on track. But I can see we have 2 drivers in the sim rigs, so let's head back up to Will Buxton and get this next set of races underway.
Thank you, Neil. Right, we have got lining up now Palm versus Opmir. So 2 guys with it all to do. Opmir. So competitive, so successful. Waiting for the lights, and the guys have switched cars. We're over now into the supercar lights. Palm in the number 1, Opmir in the number 2, so it's Palm in the black car, Opmir in the white, and you can hear the shifts from that sequential shifter on the rig. Otmir with the tight line. Looking very, very neat and tidy. Pulling through. And about a 3.5 second gap at the moment between Palm and Otmir. We'll wait to see over the line if there's been any slight mistakes from Otmir, but it's looking nice at the moment for him. It's a four-wheel drive car, so very, very different to the Porsches they were driving in that first round. Very different skill set required. And it's close, but over the line, it is Otmir that takes the win, a 1:18.789. So it's 1-0 to Otmir. And they will switch rigs now. Clinical from Otmir. A brilliant first run. So that gap between the two over the line, 3.5 seconds last time. That at the moment is what we're expecting from the stagger. Getting themselves set up and ready for race 2. Otmir looking to make it 2-0. All prepped, all ready. And Otmir, of course, as we said, a two-time Formula One esports champion, also competing in the Formula E Accelerate series, both for Mercedes, highly regarded, and of course has real-world race experience. A junior karting champion, former Spanish F4 racer, and Formula Renault racer, Jarno Otmir. Very, very difficult man to beat. He was, of course, eROC champion 2022. Can Palm do anything about him in this second race? Just Otmir in the number 1, Palm in the number 2. The virtual fans in the stands and all of you at home, we thank you so much for tuning in. And there is Otmir in the number 1, the black and orange car. And that's rapid on that inside track. Brilliant start for Otmir then in the second half of this second round. Beautifully sliding through, just needs the cut back now. The slight switch left and right over the line. 3.5 seconds was the gap on the last race. It's 3.3, so at the moment, Otmir looking very, very good. With this car, far more use of the handbrake. To really try and get this four-wheel drive car sliding around. The cut back now for Palm, running a little wide. Otmir across the line. It's close. Very, very close between the two. And in the end, I think it was showing Palm as the winner. So that will, I think, Neil, come down to time.
Come and stand over here, Martin, and get ready to watch your lap in the Polaris and be judged by the judges. Here we go. Let's watch it.
It was a good launch, but it was a little bit wild into the first corner. I mean, he soon picked it up again, but he's definitely gone full Colin McRae into the first bend, I think.
we like that.
Yeah,
We like
absolutely. It's
attacking.
respect, Martin.
Commitment is very good.
It could be a bit cleaner, but at least the attack is there, so that's good.
You can see
That was a very good corner. That.
he's fighting the understeer a little bit going in, but for sure he has the speed going into the corner. So that's actually one of the hardest things when you haven't have a lot of experience in real world driving to attack the entry. But it's nothing wrong with the commitment.
Yeah, that is. The beginning was a bit stop and go in driving, but the last part of that lap now was very good. Good attack and good flow also. So getting better and better the more you drive.
If you look at the dash on the onboard there, if you look at the one on the right, which is a rep counter, it's definitely high, not low, that's for sure. Yeah, and literally, I mean, he gets out of shape, Martin picks it up pretty quick. I mean, he's, a more inexperienced driver would for sure end up in a snowbank, and he hasn't done that. I mean, he's got a little bit wild and he's got out on the fluffy stuff, but he's managed to pick it up each time. So, yeah, I may be signing him up to do a few stunts in the future if he carries on, I think. Again, full commitment on the jump. There's no backing out. He's just flat.
Nods of the heads from all the judges, and Martin, you were smiling all the way through that, so it was good to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun. This year we have the onboard only, so you can really tell all the little mistakes, know everything. So, but yeah, no, it felt good. It was better watching it than driving it actually.
But one of the words that kept coming up there was commitment. You were fully committed, lots of sideways, so kudos.
Yeah, being here last year as well, I was a bit too tentative, and I got some deduction on points from Allure and that. So this year I was like, okay, let's just send it. So. Yeah.
Well, you definitely sent it. Now let's see how the votes are in. How are we judging that?
Yep. So for me, car control, yes, the commitment was there. I think Martin had already made his mind up. He was going for it before he even started. So he'd done that for sure. A couple of little mistakes which sent him out. I managed to gather it up. So I'm going to give Martin a 3 out of the 4.
Okay. And to you, Ollie?
It's the driving was big attack. The lines could be maybe a bit cleaner. But it was fun to watch, and it got cleaner and better the longer he drove. So I will give him a 3 out of 4.
Okay, that's 2 3s so far. And to Felix, in terms of pace, what did you think?
Yeah, I think it was kind of on the same topic. It was not the cleanest, but it was a lot of commitment, but some small mistakes here and there. So I'm giving him a 3.
Okay, 3s across the board, which makes 9. Let's have a look at what that does to the scores. Should put him, I'm guessing, at the top. Let's have a look. So far, with 2 of our drivers having been judged, Martin takes the top of the leaderboard ahead of Michael Romanides. But we still have 2 more, Jarno and Lucas, to have their real-time laps assessed out on the track. Thank you, judges. We'll come back to you very shortly. Thank you, Martin. Full commitment, full send. Now it's time to get back to the rigs and get some racing underway.
Thank you so much, Neil. Right, Blakely versus Romanides. This, from the first rounds, should be a great shake-up. It should be a great contest between these two. Lucas not entirely happy at the moment. So he's got no audio at the moment. Just going to wait until that is sorted for him. But it's 2 points for the win, 1 point for a loss. If you were looking at the standings, then trying to figure out who is where. So you win, you get the 2 points. You come second, you get 1 point. And that's how we're adding everything up. So far, Lucas on 4 and Michael on 4, having won both of their first round races. So we'll just wait until the audio is hopefully sorted for Lucas. But brilliant first runs from both of these guys. Said Michael, so impressive on his route here, having won the qualifying final, facing up against the likes of Tommy Hallam, Dominic Blager before, as you said, winning that final to make his way here. Lucas Blakely, the reigning Formula One esports champion, needs very little introduction. Both of these guys, after round one, looking like the drivers to beat. I was watching Lucas actually out on the snow and ice yesterday. Full send, massive commitment. Very, very impressive, which should come as no surprise given his heroics last year against Sebastian Vettel. Right, 5 lights are on. Blakely versus Romanides. Let's go. Okay, so Blakely in the number 1, the white and orange car. Romanides in the black and orange car, 4-wheel drive. As we were saying, in these supercar lights. And this should be a great contest between the two. Blakely on that fast-flowing outer section of track. Romanides on the inner line. Really technical, really tight and twisting, particularly towards the end of the lap and under the bridge. Blakely will be able to get his foot down over the jump at the first split. Blakely on a 37.6. Romanides over the line of 41.9, 4.2 seconds the gap. So Romanides with it all to do to try to stop Blakely from making it 3 wins from 3. But Blakely is hooked up. Beautiful car control. This is looking fantastic from the reigning Formula One esports champion. Into the right-hander flick, under the tunnel, through the left-right at the end. It's such a difficult end to the lap to try and get that power down. And it's close! Oh, so close between the two. And Romanides with a fantastic final lap there, or final run of the second half of the lap. He takes the spoils. He takes the win. And a fist bump there. A sign of mutual respect between the two racers. Romanides, for his time, his first time here at eROC, is looking like the man to beat. Opmeer and Blakely, who came into this very much as favourites, with it all to do now against the desperately impressive Michael Romanides. What a final couple of turns for him. Had it absolutely pinned over the jump. Takes first blood. A deep breath and an exhalation from Michael as he prepares himself, calms himself. Blakely, steely calm. Can he pull it back? Can he take this second race? So Romanides now in the number 1, Blakely now in the number 2. So Romanides in the black and orange, Blakely in the white and orange. Incredibly tight between these two in that first race. How close will it be in the second? Joyous, absolutely joyous watching these two race. Again, beautiful car control from them both. Romanides, that lovely slide through the tight left-hander. Very nice end control from Romanides. With a tight, tricky switch back over the line. It's 3.2, so it's close once again between these two. That's the kind of gap we're expecting. Romanides with 1 win against Blakely. Has Blakely done enough to pull it back in this one? So close to the wall under the tunnel for Romanides, and it'll be Blakely. Blakely takes the second win with a 1:15, so it's 1 win apiece between those two. Brilliant driving from them both. So 2 points to Blakely, 2 points to Romanides.
That was very tight, very good. Come over here, Lucas. Nice driving there, but Michael certainly sort of gave you a bit of a battle there.
Yeah, he's rapid, man. That first race is tricky. I mean, these cars are so, tricky to drive, not a lot of grip. So, yeah, took me a minute to get my bearings there, but yeah, definitely improved a bit for the second one.
Okay, well, it's time to face your judgment as the judges watch your lap out in the Polaris. So let's have a look and get some comments from our judges. Terry, start.
Great launch. I mean, nice and smooth, not too wild. Yeah, first corner, great, to be honest. I mean, it's aggressive enough, but not over-aggressive. As we see with Martin, he kind of slightly went a little bit too far, but Lucas is bang on it. Yes, impressive.
Yeah, very clean, nice lines. Good attack in and clean out, which is very good. I was just told Felix it's very impressive with the driving. It's very good.
Especially the braking is very high. You can see how the car dives, so the camera's pointing down to the ground. So it's really maximizing the car. You can see there, you can't even see the sky anymore. So it's definitely maximizing the car on entry. Very, very big commitment. So yeah, it looks really good, impressive.
He had some good experience from last year, so do you think he's bringing that to the table?
Oh, definitely. You can see that, last year he was scared. This year he's literally going for it. And as Philip said, if you watch the car dip on the brakes, he's also using that braking effect to help turn the car into the corners. So car control for me is very, very good. Very good.
Some nodding heads and some comments over in the middle, Ollie.
He did 2 mistakes there now on the left, a bit early in and missed the exit, and then on the right he lost the line and went too wide. But the rest so far is very impressive, very impressive.
I think he's able to turn a mistake into something that's not costing a lot of lap time, which is also a very good skill in these kind of cars, because you're never going to be perfect. So every time you're missing the braking point or the apex a bit, you can always turn it into a better exit or something like that, and I think he has that capability.
And it looked like he got some air over the jump as well, which is always impressive. So quickly, yeah, we like jumps. Quickly assessing yourself, watching that back?
Yeah, it's always weird watching it back on a screen because it feels so quick when you're doing it, and then you watch it on a screen and you're like, ah. So, no, it's good to watch back. I mean, I was really... The conditions were tough. It was very easy to get caught offline with the snow, so yeah, happy that I at least got a clean run in.
Okay, well, the votes are in. Give us your assessment, please, Terry.
Yeah, so, yes, I mean, there was a couple of tiny little small faults, but as Felix said, he turned the fault into a positive and come out on a different line and kept it. So it's a 4 out of 4 for me, for sure.
Maximum. Okay, 4 out of 4. What about you, Ollie?
Yeah, he did 2 mistakes there, but the rest was very impressive actually. Good lines in with good speed, and then a clean line in the middle, and he actually used the corner to open, so definitely 4 out of 4.
Oh, it's maximum 4s so far. Felix, are you going to break the trend?
No, it was very impressive. I thought he really. I mean, you cannot expect more than that. That's a very, very good 2 laps, and I'm giving him a 4 as well.
Maximum score. Let's have a look at Lucas's face.
Wow, I mean, thank you very much, guys. I mean, that's yeah. You always question yourself. Once you've done the lap, you have so many hours to think about it. So you're like, oh, was it good? Was it this mistake, that mistake? But no, very, very happy. So honestly, thank you very much. Couldn't be happier.
And the scoreboard doesn't lie. There we go. You go straight to the top of the leaderboard with only Jarno Opmeer to be judged on his real lap. But now let's get back to the rigs and back to racing.
Wow, a perfect score for Lucas Blakely from the judges on his real-world lap. And as I said, watching him trackside yesterday, he was desperately impressive. Right, this is going to be fun. Back in the hot seat, Romanidis up against Opmeer. And Opmeer knows he's going to need a couple of wins to be punching for that all-important top 2 placing that will see him through to contest Race of Champions Nations Cup tomorrow in the Polaris. So these are the cars that they are actually riding for real yesterday around the track. How will that convert into knowledge on the sim? So much pitch in these cars, but the real world experience may pay dividends on the rigs. It's tidy from both so far. These amazing little cars, very tight to the wall. 156.4 Newton meters of torque on these things, and it's Opmeer who has a 3.8 advantage over Romanidis. Across the line at the halfway point. So incredibly tight between these two. It's nice and tidy. Just getting the slide on. their knowledge of these cars, having driven them for real. Paying some dividends here. Through the final turn then, and the jump, and it's close over the line, but it's Romanidis who takes the flag, a 21-3. This young man is so desperately impressive. It is not an easy feat to beat the mighty Otmir. But there we have it, Romanidis showing that he has come not to make up the numbers, but very much to be a man to be reckoned with. So it's another 2 points for the Greek racer. And Otmir now will try desperately to get the second win. Just getting into position, switching over the rigs. As they pull on their Bang & Olufsen headsets and get ready for this second contest. Here we go. So it's Romanidis against Otmir. Romanidis with the first win. 2 points go to him. We'll see Otmir's real-world lap after this and see the points that he's accrued. If he can get a perfect score like Blakely, it could make all the difference to the overall point scoring at the end, because Romanidis did not score anywhere near as highly as the Scotsman. Will that ultimately see him pitched out of the top two? So Otmir in the blue is 3.9 back. So needs to find a little something in this final run. Will Romanidis make it 2 out of 2? Romanidis in the orange Polaris RZR. Lovely slide. That's really, really tidy. It's looking very, very good, but it is going to be close once again between these two. Not much to choose between them. Otmir over the jump and over the line. It's so close, and Otmir pulls it back with a 21-0. Just a quarter of a second between the two. So 2 points apiece, just as it was between Blakely and Romanidis. It's 1 apiece for Otmir and Romanidis.
Nice one, Jarno. So that felt good. And of course, it's the Polaris, which is the car you drove out on the track as well. How was that race, and how did you think you did outside?
First race, I was pretty bad on that one. I think it took me a little bit too long to get used to the sim again from real life. So the race didn't go too great. Assessment lap, I think went all right. I think the first half of the lap I messed up a little bit. It took me a little bit long to get used to.
Give the judges ammunition.
No, but yeah, I made one mistake on the first lap, but I think the second lap was really, really good, and I adapted to. Yeah.
Let's have a look. Let's watch it.
Yeah.
So as you said, Ollie, it was an honest assessment from Jarno.
Yeah, we really like that. So it's good. It looks good so far. Clean, nice.
Again, I mean, the first couple of corners, the great launch was good. Car control was good. If you watch his hands, he's reacting to everything very, very quickly.
He missed the second corner there, a bit of understeer and missed the exit, but
Didn't lose that much time though. It was pretty good saving.
yeah.
Also very good commitment on the brakes here. Very good minimum speed.
Yes.
He's carrying a lot of speed through the corner.
It's very clean.
Yes.
Clean and effective.
I mean, he's very similar to Lucas, but Lucas was a little bit more aggressive. If you have a look, I think Jarno's a little bit calmer in the car. You can see that in his driving style. So whether that's going to be quicker or not, who knows? But certainly it looks a lot calmer than Lucas's lap.
That looks very clean, very nice, and not the same attack, but this maybe is also the faster way, of course. So it's clean and very nice.
Yeah, it's different styles. I think if you look at Lucas, he was a bit more aggressive going in, but Jarno has more minimum speed and maybe a little bit better exit everywhere. But very nice flow. You can see there's a lot of speed, a lot of commitment, but also a lot of control. Yeah, so far so good.
So far, so good.
It's not dipping and diving as much, is it?
No, it's cleaner, as we said. You know, it's not the same attack, but it's cleaner and maybe less mistakes in a way. But it's good flow, which is nice and good lines. And the best jump so far.
It definitely is. It just looks a lot cleaner. So they both look very similar time-wise. So let's see what was the better way. Actually, it helped these guys as well, whether to calm down or go full aggressive. So.
Full attack, that's all it is.
So let's see how the scores did with you guys. So the votes are in. What are you telling us, Terry?
Car control, I mean, it's got to be the same as Lucas. It's got to be a 4 out of 4 for sure.
Okay. Maximum 4?
It's, as I said, it's very clean, very nice, good lines. Missed, maybe also he also did 2 mistakes. Missed the exit, but yeah, also definitely 4 out of 4. Yeah.
Okay, and down to Felix. The pace, was it good?
It was a rapid lap. That was, as I said, I think very close lap time wise with Lucas, but just the flow and the speed through the corners, I give him a 4.
So he was the fastest officially, so that's another maximum 4 from all 3 of you. So a quick reaction from you.
How fast the lap was, because I made a mistake in turn 2, of course, but yeah, very happy.
Put you top of the leaderboard, as we can see. Lucas Blakely in 2nd, Michael Romanidis in 3rd, and Martin Palm in 4th. But we have one more sim race to go, and let's get that on track right now.
So one final run before the 3rd place playoff, and of course the playoff for the overall champion. It's going to be Blakely versus Palm. And Blakely just needing his Bang & Olufsen headphones plugging in once again. And it's there. Or it's not. It's not quite. It's always on that rig. It doesn't quite seem to be plugged in. We will get this thing up and running very, very soon. So it looks like it's going to be Otmir and Blakely as the top 2. Romanidis at the moment, with the points accumulated from the real world laps and from the sim laps, looks like he will just miss out. But a great run from Romanidis so far. He has impressed everybody here. But Otmir and Blakely, the class of the field, once again, they made it through to the final 2 last year. They contested the championship against one another last year. They raced as teammates last year in the Rock Nations Cup, which of course comes your way tomorrow from here in Peter Havsbad. Conditions out on track, looking absolutely beautiful. And when it comes to the final in this eROC Championship, one of the races will be run for real out on the snow and ice before we move back to the sim. So stay tuned for that. The final will be a cumulative time affair between the 3 races, so 2 sim races and 1 on the snow and ice. Whoever has that fastest cumulative time will be crowned eROC Champion 2023. So as we work to get the audio right for Lucas. Lucas, of course, who moved from sim to real world racing this year. Did some single seaters in National Formula Ford up in Scotland. He takes on, for the final 2 races, Martin Palm, Sweden's entry into eROC. Racing once again. This Polaris. It's a great fun little car. The drivers all enjoying it in the real world and loving it on the sim as well. So Blakely versus Palm. Blakely already through to the final. But will want as many points as he can muster and as much experience as he can take through into the fight with Jarno Opmeer. Oh, and very close and into the wall. And now he's spun it around as well. So Blakely is not having his best race. It shouldn't matter in the overall result today, but a big mistake from Blakely. But a mistake as well from Palm into the wall is allowing Blakely back into this. And Blakely, I think, at the moment, with the full advantage. But it's going to be Palm who takes the win. Blakely with that mistake ultimately costing him. And over the line, nearly 5.6 seconds back. He shakes his head. He knows he never really stood a chance in that, having made the mistake on his opening tour. So a bit of pride for Palm there. Gets the win against Blakely. And Blakely will be hoping for a cleaner run this time round. So it'll be Palm in the blue Polaris, Blakely in the orange. The looks of determination. Palm will want to make this 2-0. Up against the reigning F1 esports champion. Will that mistake still linger on Blakely's mind? So Blakely in the orange, Palm in the blue. As we watch Martin Palm, winner of that opening round between these two. Lovely line from Palm through here, actually. Very, very nice. And Blakely, full commitment through the tight and twisting part of the track. Oh, little nudge under the bridge. But has it all together. And across the line, the gap between the two is 2.8. Palm now on that inside line, the tighter, twisty part of the track. So difficult to get the power down, particularly in this Polaris. But Blakely very, very calm. And a nice run from him so far. Just the right-left flick. And Blakely should have this. Over the jump. And over the line. It's Blakely who has it with a 120.8. So takes another win. Palm P2 by just shy of 3 seconds.
So another very impressive set of races there. Nice one, Lucas. Martin, how do you feel about that? You look a bit disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, the first race was better than the last one, for sure. This has been my toughest car to get to grips with in the sim this year. I was a lot more confident in the RX car, and you know the Porsche is super difficult to drive, as we saw last year as well with the real car. But yeah, I mean, I did better than last year anyway in the sim, so I'm pretty happy anyway. So.
Well done.
Yes,
Tack så mycket. So let's have a look at how that affects the scores, because I think, Lucas, it might be time to put your driving boots on.
Looks like it. Yeah, happy enough with everything so far. A few scuffy moments on the sim, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think I got the points when I needed. So yeah, now to go for it.
Well, you need to go and get your helmet on and your racing boots on and get ready, because you are in the final, which means we have Michael Romanidis and Martin Palmer, who will now face off for the third place battle. So if you would like to take your positions in the rigs, while the final is between Lucas Blakely and Jarno Opmeer, who are about to head out to the track. So if you want to take your seats, fellas. But yes, Lucas and Jarno are heading out right now, so they should be getting into the car changing area and getting their helmets on and their racing boots on. There we can see them. So while they get ready to head out onto the ice, let's get our third place face-off underway. So I'm being told by race control that there is no third place race. We're going to stick with the live pictures of the boys getting ready. Sorry, Martin. Sorry, Michael. Well done. And by the way, say thank you to our judges who have cleared this space. So, Michael, so to talk us through your experience of eROC. You know, 2 weeks ago, you didn't know you were going to be here. How's it been?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, every year the target gets higher and higher, and as the week progressed, it got busier but more fun as well. So yeah, the experience has been overwhelming at times. So yeah, really happy to have been here. Thanks to Race of Champions for this opportunity, because this wouldn't be possible without them. Yeah, it's been a crazy experience. Hopefully I get to do it again at some point.
And as we see these guys getting ready to go out onto the track, just sum up your experience and a shout out to any of your supporters that have helped you sort of feel good this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, recently I left my team, Williams Esports, but they've been obviously very fundamental with this. And obviously, hello, mom and dad in the home watching maybe. Yeah, it's been a lot of hard work to get here. Thankfully, it's Jarno and Lucas in the Nations Cup, because obviously they are the most competent in the real car, and they'll give us a proper representation for our sim racing. And yeah, as I said, hopefully next year with more experience we can do something. But yeah, hopefully the guys go on and win the whole thing. You know, what a story that would be. But yeah, best of luck to the guys.
Thank you very much. Well done, Michael.
So, as we get ready for this first part of the final between Jarno Opmeer and Lucas Blakely, for real out on the snow and the ice. And while before it was all about how many points you scored, now it's all about time. As we look at Jarno Opmeer in the Polaris. Steeling his nerves and getting ready for the off. So the combined time between this run and then 2 runs on the sim to crown your eROC champion 2023. It will be Opmeer and Blakely who once again line up as teammates in the Nations Cup tomorrow, and who once again, as they did in 2022, will fight it out for overall honours to be crowned eROC champion 2023. Lucas Blakely getting ready to mount up and climbs into his Polaris RZ, 814 kilos. 181 brake horsepower, 0 to 104.6 seconds. As he makes himself comfortable and gets buckled in. Conditions out there this morning, absolutely perfect. Been having some practice runs as the sun rose over the Baltic Sea. And it is a beautiful day, a beautiful morning here in Sweden, in Peter Hafsbad. Conditions Actually far better than these guys practiced in yesterday. The track is looking gorgeous. And from the sim into the Polaris for real. Round 1 of 3 in the eROC final to determine your eROC champion. Snow and Ice 2023. It is a repeat, as we were saying, of last year's final. Blakely and Opmeer once again proving to be the class of the field. Can Blakely make amends for the defeat last year? Yes, he had the glory of beating Sebastian Vettel, but what he really wanted was that eROC crown. It went to Jarno Opmeer. Can Opmeer get it done again as they ride out from the garage onto the track? You see some of the practice runs just coming to a halt as the guys tour slowly around the access road and onto the track. So in the bluish-green Polaris, it is Blakely, and in the orangey-red car, it will be Jarno Opmeer. Combined times over the 3 runs, 1 on snow and ice, 2 back in the sim, to crown your champion for 2023. Conditions very different to the laps on which they were judged. These ones taking place in a beautiful morning light, not at sunset as it was. That does mean the sun will be in their eyes down there at turn 1. The tricky left-hander, particularly if you're on that inside line, that first turn tightens towards the second apex. That is the line that Opmeer will have. Blakely in the bluish-green car with the far smoother and faster run. The track, though, slightly different to the one they've had on this sim. There is now a kink right after that start line that allows them to flick the cars into the left-hander. So a slightly different track for real than the one they've had on the sim. And this then, for real, our first action of the weekend on the snow and ice, and we're away here in Sweden. Opmeer in the orange, Blakely in the bluish-green, and Blakely now with the power down, the Union flag flying atop his car, and we ride on board with Jarno Opmeer. You see conditions, you see the snow, much nicer, far crisper than it was yesterday. And up through the top of the track, Blakely trying to get the power down, sliding it through. We'll have that nice run over the crest of the jump. So the split with Blakely, and Opmeer very slow through the end of the lap. I wonder if he took a hit under the bridge. It's a dreadful first lap for Jarno Opmeer. 8 seconds adrift. But Blakely cannot ease off because it's about the combined time between this run and the 2 in the sim. He can't just ease back and take the points. The points are out the window now. It's all about time, so Blakely has to keep this pinned. Beautiful slide. Lovely run now from Lucas Blakely as he tries to eke out this advantage more and more over Opmeer to be crowned eROC champion 2023. Blakely should take the win with ease through the tricky cutback, left and right. Blakely, first blood for him then, over the line for Lucas Blakely, 142.7. And Opmeer way back. So we wait to see actually what Opmeer's time was. We'll need that on the combined times. There we go, a 146.807. So Opmeer returns to the sim 4 seconds behind Blakely. That is a huge gap to make up over the running of 2 races on the sim, and as we saw earlier today, Blakely took the head-to-head 2-0 against Jarno Opmeer. So it is advantage to Lucas Blakely as things stand. A definite advantage for him. Let's try and see on this replay exactly what happened to Opmeer that saw him lose that vast chunk of time. He managed to pull some of it back, but the 4 seconds is a gap that he will not be happy with. Not with his experience, not with his success here last year. This on board with Blakely. Very nice, managing to get the traction down through that last flick, left and right. It's such a tricky couple of corners. But a great first run for Lucas Blakely. Back now in the garage. And they will walk through now to get back to the sim. And don't forget, folks, we are, of course, here not just for eROC, but for the Race of Champions, Snow and Ice itself. The Nations Cup takes place tomorrow. The Champion of Champions takes place on Sunday. And some of the biggest stars in international motorsport have already arrived here in Sweden.
Howdy,
Yo!
Hello. Finally back.
I think 4 flights. Now we're here. I'm super excited.
Adrian, who is the favorite for the weekend?
We are. Did you not know that?
I hope it's me. That's why I came.
Matthias. Matthias Ekström have said now he's gonna win easy. That's what they have told all of us, you know. So he put a lot of pressure on himself.
I think I'm gonna either win or I'm gonna be lost.
I would love to say myself, but it's probably the toughest competition. So maybe a Swede or a Scandi.
But I'm without any experience against the others who come every year, so. But it's going to be fun. That's the main target.
I'm here to have fun, but I'm also here to race. So I'm gonna say myself. I think Travis Pastrana will surprise many people.
He's supposed to say Loeb as he won last year. He failed the question.
But I would like to do well myself.
My dream is to finally maybe try to win it.
I think I would be unfair to say not myself, so I'll say myself.
It's my turn, and I'm running out of time. Everyone said me?
No.
Great to see the guys arriving. It's a wonderful environment here in Peter Hafsbad. All the drivers and all the staff that make ROC happen, all in one hotel. It's a wonderful environment, a great experience. The weather is perfect, but it's down to competition now between Opmeer and Blakely. Blakely with a 4+ second advantage after that first run. As we said, everything up to now has been about points. This final, though, is all about the combined time. So Opmeer with a 4-second disadvantage coming into the final 2 races on the sim has it all to do against the man he lost to earlier today. It was 2-0 to Blakely. Still in the Polaris, but back on the sim. It is Opmeer versus Blakely. Blakely with the advantage. The lights are on. Who will it be for eROC Champion 2023? And we're racing once again here in Sweden. Blakely nice and tidy through the first couple of corners on the inside line. It's Blakely then in the orange Polaris. Opmeer in the blue. Look at the determination on Opmeer's face. Blakely, very calm. Opmeer, almost sort of stressful. You can see the tightness in him, wanting to take back the advantage that he lost in that opening race. So Otmir will already have crossed the line as Blakely comes through. The gap between the two of them, 3.5 seconds. It's about what we're used to seeing in the Polaris contests on the sim. Blakely at the part of the track now where he can put his foot down, really make that Polaris sing, get all of that 181 brake horsepower down. Just the final corners to go. Otmir under the tunnel. It's neat and tidy for him. It's going to be tight. Blakely over the jump and over the line. And it's Blakely who takes the victory again, a 121.1. So we'll extend that gap. And short of Blakely putting it into one of the snowbanks and making a huge mistake, which of course he did make in that penultimate race earlier today with Palm, it's his to lose now. How much will that mistake against Palm be playing on Blakely's mind? He just has to keep it tidy in order to be crowned eROC champion 2023. He doesn't have to win this. He just has to keep close to Otmir. Jarno really can afford to go absolutely all out in this final contest. He has nothing to lose and everything to gain. One simple mistake from Blakely could hand it to his rival as Otmir tries to make it 2 championships in a row. Will we see the handing over of the eROC title from Otmir to Blakely? Blakely has been so impressive today. And the 2 drivers who defined eROC Snow and Ice 2022 once again will define it in 2023. So one last race between these two, Blakely versus Otmir. And so Blakely once again unhappy, I think, with the audio, and it's on that same rig that he's had problems with all the way through today. And yeah, he's still got the struggles. Jarno's going to use the opportunity just to try and get a few corners in and get a little bit of practice while Lucas sits and waits. So sim time and the track times, you see them there. And Blakely just waiting to have the headphones fixed for him. And it has, it's always been that one. And it's only ever been him on that rig that it's not quite worked out for him from an audio perspective. An alternate way of getting around here in Sweden. As you said, conditions out there today, absolutely stunning. Beautiful weather for racing here in Peter Hafsbad. Who's a good boy? That is one happy doggo. Right then, hopefully everything is fixed. We are ready to roll for this final race in eROC 2023. Otmir versus Blakely. To see who will be crowned eROC champion. The lights are on, and we're racing for championship glory here at eROC Race of Champions Snow and Ice 2023. Otmir so close to the wall at the start. A great run from him so far. Otmir absolutely with his foot flat, sliding it through on the outside line. Blakely on the inside. A little touch from Blakely into the wall, but it doesn't unsettle the Polaris. Hasn't put him into a spin as it did against Palm. We're looking for around a 3.5 second gap between the two over the line. But it's a lot more because the overall times, and I think that's what we're looking at there, puts Blakely slightly behind the curve. Don't forget the 3.5 seconds though. With that 0.78 would make it about 4 and a bit. So advantage still just about with Blakely to be crowned 2023 eROC champion. Slow through the switchback, but Otmir over the line in a 25.3. Blakely cuts the line. And the combined times means that Lucas Blakely is the 2023 eROC champion. And I think he's just been told.
Well, it was so close that we didn't actually, it's very hard to work out the result. But Lucas, you are eROC champion 2023. Let's get your immediate reaction.
Yeah, but a bit of panic almost. I was like, I wasn't sure what the timings were, what the difference was going to be, but yeah, got it. I had a very scruffy last race, but yeah, so super happy to redeem from last year to win the eROC title. So yeah, a bit shocked at the moment, but yeah, happy.
Well, let's head over towards the trophies and a quick word with you, Jarno. I think it was out there on the track maybe that cost you.
Yeah, I wasn't sure why I was so slow. Maybe I wasn't that good in just jumping in the car. I think I struggled a little bit, like switching between the real car and the sim a lot. So yeah, it is what it is.
Okay, well, let's head over here and meet Fredrik Jonsson. Fredrik, what did you think of eROC 2023 again? The best in the world come together.
Amazing. I mean, it's getting better every year. Congratulations to both of you. Come in here, guys. These guys did so well last year, and they've come back this year. And of course, with the experience from 2022, I think you've definitely matured. You've definitely gotten better on all facets of racing, both on the simulator and in the real world. So. Question is, are you ready for tomorrow with meeting up with two F1 legends, Valtteri Bottas and Mika Häkkinen in the first round?
Yeah, it's going to be the huge names just like last year, so it's going to be now important just to relax a little and then get into practice, try and get up to speed. But yeah, just super excited. Just hard to put to words.
Very good.
Okay. Well, let's get the second place trophy to Jarno.
Congratulations.
And the winner of eROC 2023, Lucas Blakely. A round of applause, people. So that's eROC done and dusted, but it's only the beginning of your race weekend now, so good luck tomorrow. Final words from you, Jarno?
Yeah, can't wait, to be honest. It's going to be very good, practicing all day today and then jumping in tomorrow morning early against Valtteri and Mika. So.
And for you, Lucas, you did it this year. Your emotions right now?
Yeah, I'm just super happy at the moment, but I think I'm really excited for tomorrow as well. As Jarno says, it's such a immense privilege to be here at, for not just for the first time but the second time at Race of Champions, and just big thanks to them for putting on this eROC every year, giving us guys the opportunity to even be amongst so many legends of the sport. So grateful to be here, and we're absolutely buzzing for tomorrow.
I'd like to ask you a question. I mean, how much we see you on the sim, but in the real world, you actually beat four-time Formula One world champion Sebastian Vettel on track last year. How much of what you're learning in the sim can you actually take with you out on the track here?
You can take there's certain things that are very fundamental between both on track and on the sim. There's certain core principles with certain driving techniques that you will transfer. Obviously, there's the element of speed that you can't get, but there's certainly things that do help when you practice it, let's say thousands of times in a sim, and it makes it maybe a little bit easier when you go out there.
Thank you very much. Very well done, guys. A little fist pump, fist pump, fist pump.
Fist pump. Well done.
Very good, thank you. So thank you very much for watching. We are going to wrap things up now, but make sure you stay across all things Race of Champions this weekend. The cars are out practicing on track. We'd like to say thank you to all of our partners and sponsors, and we also say thanks to Will Buxton and our judges, of course. But while the practice is happening out there, I think I'm going to get some sim time in. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you later this weekend for Race of Champions Rock, Snow and Ice.